June is almost over. It's the last day of June, the 30th. Thanks for joining us here on the 734. I'm Jason DeRusha. This is our daily digital newscast from WCCO. We've got you covered on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I think we have this there as well. So glad to have you hanging out with us. Want to get you started with the weather. We did have some rain overnight. Yeah, let us know in the comments if this rain woke you up. Today it didn't wake me up in Maple Grove. Yesterday's was certainly loud, but this is just outside our studio right after midnight. You see kind of heavy rain, water pooling. Yep. Lawn is plenty wet. There's nowhere for this rain to come, and so we've seen some flooding as well. Let me show you the 7:30 forecast for today. We should be drying out, although drying is a relative term, right? It feels like a sauna out there right now. Very humid. Already we're in the mid-70s here at 7:34 in the morning. We'll be at 85 already by noon. This afternoon will be 89. It'll feel like the mid-90s and a sticky night ahead, so I'm probably going to have to turn the thermostat down from my usual overnight temperature of 80 degrees. It is going to be a hot one, and we're in for a hot stretch as well. Let's talk about this. We've seen shortages. What all have we been short of? Toilet paper, hand sanitizer, those disinfectant wipes, yeast. Remember, no one could find yeast. Now fireworks. USA Today reporting that fireworks sales are booming. Get it? They're booming. They're exploding. They're bursting. Unprecedented rate. Phantom fireworks. You've probably seen their stores. They got 80 of them in the U.S., and they're a huge supplier to other retailers, too, of fireworks. They say their sales are up 115% from last year. Multiple reasons. The 4th is on a Saturday, so more people buy fireworks. Most public displays have been canceled, so people are going to light off their own fireworks at home. But people are also lighting them off right now, right? You've been hearing not just the storm fireworks. We've been hearing fireworks for the last 2 weeks. So weigh in on fireworks. Are you going to launch fireworks from your yard? Legal, of course. I assume all of you will be legal. None of you are going to Wisconsin to buy the good stuff. I mean the illegal stuff. Certainly, I would never do such a thing. Have you already bought some? Let us know in the comments. And also tell me where your at-home display is going to be so I can just drive by and watch it, because I'm too chicken to launch that stuff in my own backyard. Share your comments on the WCCO TV Facebook page. We'll read through a couple in a minute. Governor Tim Walz says we did it. We reached a coronavirus testing milestone. He said the state is able to test 20,000 people per day. This milestone coming as more places are considering enacting mask policies, which it makes sense that people waited. I mean, some of the science on this was sketchy to begin with, but it does seem that the research indicates that wearing a mask and social distancing makes a difference. And today, the city of Edina is going to talk about making masks mandatory inside all city buildings. So there we go. We'll see what they'll do there. Starting tomorrow, anybody visiting University of Minnesota campus will need to wear a mask inside buildings. Few exceptions to this, but the new rule applies to students, staff, visitors, and that'll be in place until further notice. You should be, if you're going anywhere inside with a lot of people around, wear a mask. Surging COVID-19 numbers in many states are putting a pause on the country's reopening. Arizona was like rolling with this very early. And it kind of felt like, what are they doing there? Well, they're rolling it back. The governor says the spike in coronavirus cases is linked to the end of the state's stay-at-home order in May. New Jersey was planning on offering some indoor dining on Thursday, and they are pausing that as well because the working theory is that a lot of these new cases are related to indoor restaurant, club, bars, that sort of thing. One of the former officers charged in the death of George Floyd says he was acting in self-defense. This is sort of a procedural thing. The attorney for J. Alexander King says he does plan on pleading not guilty to aiding and abetting murder. We don't know exactly what his defense is going to be, but his lawyer did check off a number of boxes on a form that says, yep, we might pursue this, this, this. Trial for all 4 former officers scheduled for March. It's quite a ways out. Judge Peter Cahill says the case could be moved out of Hennepin County. There is concern over all of the comments that, like, the governor, the mayors, the police chiefs, public official comments have them concerned about the jury pool. So a warning that they could move the trial if the comments don't stop. George Floyd's family faced the officers for the first time as they watched from the front row of the courtroom.
I walk in the courthouse and there's a courtroom full of white old men, and it's going to be hard for my nephew to get a fair trial. I just believe.
I think my nephew's case is going to be a fight. This is going to be a heavy fight. I see it right away. It's going to be a fight.
Yeah, you can kind of understand where the family's coming from, right? Like all the defendants, the prosecutor, all the judge, everybody. You go in there and everyone's white. I get what they're saying. The family says they hope that TV cameras are allowed in the courtroom for the trial. They said the more their case is in the spotlight, the better their chance for justice. The judge is considering allowing cameras, which would be a first in Minnesota, allowing the complete camera coverage of a felony trial like this. Homeowners in western Wisconsin, boy, the damage from that flash flooding, just a little startling to see, right? The power of all this rain. Let's take you to Baldwin, Wisconsin, which is pretty close here to the Twin Cities. Baldwin, part of our community. More than 8 inches of rain falling Sunday night through Monday morning. Floodwaters. Look at the damage it did to some of the structures there. Roads were washed out. Basements just absolutely swamped. A lot of people's belongings got swept away from this, too, miles away. Many homeowners left with cleanup and then that mission to figure out, what am I missing?
Stuff was probably about 2 miles away at least, and I mean, you name it, kids' toys, jackets, boots, random miscellaneous stuff you have in a storage shed, all gone. Heartbreaking.
At least 8 families had to be evacuated. Look at this from the drone. Oof. Their houses were located near a creek. A building dedicated to helping animals for decades. It's going to close permanently. They say it's because of COVID-19. The Animal Humane Society saying, look, this shelter in St. Paul's Como neighborhood, it's been great, but the building's old and the way it's laid out, there's just no way we'd be able to renovate this to allow social distancing to happen. Humane Society says it does plan on opening a new full-service veterinary center at their University Avenue location in September. If you're hoping to go back to the AMC movie theater, it's not going to happen until the end of July, pushing back the reopening date. COVID cases around the country are growing, and the movie chain saying, no, we don't want one of our theaters to be linked to one of these outbreaks. They were going to open it July 15th. There's a lot happening. First of all, there's no new movies being released, so why open up? And then those cases as well. Now they're saying July 30th, AMC hoping to be fully operational sometime in August. I'm going to call it right now. Not going to happen. Shutdown on Broadway has been extended until the new year. Coronavirus concerns forced Broadway theaters to shutter down right away in March. Producers now offering refunds and exchanges for tickets purchased for shows through January the 3rd. Real cases, shocking murders, and paranormal encounters. Netflix reviving Unsolved Mysteries. Did you watch this when it was on? It was on in the late 80s, the 90s, all the way through 2010. Unsolved cases in this new series include the death of Ray Rivera, a UFO incident in Massachusetts. The first 6 episodes are out tomorrow, and the producers of Stranger Things are involved with the producers of the original Unsolved Mysteries, so should be good stuff. A family in Wisconsin, what a story to tell. I give these guys a lot of credit. I'm not sure if I would be as brave as this.
We got a bear here. Poor thing's got a tub on its head. Oh, he's getting scared. Oh, trying to figure out how we're going to get this tub off his head. Keep coming. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, go. We saved our little bear.
Good job, buddy.
Swim happy.
All right. Pretty good, right? Just go in there, grab that plastic tub right off the bear's face. Trisha Hurt posted this video on Facebook. They spotted the bear on Marshmallow Lake, about 30 miles north of Eau Claire. She said, yep, the bear made it to shore. You can watch the whole video. It's about 2 minutes long at WCCO.com. Would you have the guts to go right up to the bear? I mean, taking the tub off the bear's face is the right thing to do. But, like, aren't you a little nervous about what the bear's going to do as soon as that thing comes off his mouth? No, bear just swam away. Very nice. All right, back to today's talker. Let's bring in our digital guru, Eric. Eric, good morning.
Good morning, Jason.
Have you ever launched a firework?
No, I have not.
Yeah.
Only sparklers.
My dad used to do it. Like, he would set off bottle rockets in the backyard, like out of an old tab. Soda bottle.
Oh, right. Like just like buried into the ground.
Yep. And then we always would take the snakes. You know those snakes?
Oh, yeah. I've done those too.
So I've done the snakes, but my dad would always put it on my next door neighbor's driveway, Mr. Jorgensen.
So he had to clean up?
Mr. Jorgensen. Nicer man today. But back then,
I see.
that's my dad.
Well, Suzanne says, I'm going to be comforting our anxiety-afflicted dog who doesn't like fireworks or thunderstorms.
Yeah, I get it.
It's been a tough week.
Dog owners
That's
struggle.
a theme. Yeah.
And if you have like PTSD or other, I certainly understand. Like that's a tough.
Yeah.
This is a tough time of year for you.
Becca says we're planning to buy some. We do it every year.
That's fun. When I first moved into my current house, my backyard neighbor was doing a big display. And they set it up right in my not my backyard, but you know, the backyard that backs up to mine. And then they abruptly moved it a couple houses down to a friend's house. And I was like, what happened? And they were like, well, you work for the news. We were worried you were going to call the police. Like, what? And like, we're sitting on the deck. We're just going to watch the show.
You're so
I'm not narking on people.
You're so litigious. Joan said one of my neighbors apparently has a big fireworks show planned. And Samantha says, I personally think fireworks are overrated 9 times out of 10. I'm not sure what the one...
One time it's great.
What makes it 1 time out of 10 it's great.
9 times out of 10, overrated. That's what people say about me in this broadcast. 9 times out of 10.
Yeah,
Everyone's.
it's either a 1 or a 10.
There's not a lot in between on this sucker, that is for sure. Well, if you do it, be safe, you know, and make sure you tune in to the WCCO This Morning show all week, where we'll continue showing you video of people sticking a firework off inside a mannequin or a watermelon. Some of the classics. Those are my favorites. Local news highlights for sure. Thanks for watching the 734. See you tomorrow.